Hello, everyone. Just thought I'd pop in for a quick hello. Not sure how many people might be available this late in the afternoon. I know for those who have children, you're either picking them up or they'll be getting home relatively soon off the bus. I'll just wait for a few minutes, see if anybody might pop on. Right now, I'm trying to sort through some dried fruit for future recipes. I was given some bags of dried fruit that were kind of mixed. It's like cherries and blueberries and raisins, craisins, but I don't necessarily like them all together. Hi, Blue Farm. Can I get your name so I can become familiar with who you are? I'm Amanda, if you didn't know. I just thought I would pop on for a quick little live chat to see if anybody wanted to chit chat today. I don't go live very often. Nikki, you're up in Washington. Well, I am in the Ozarks of Arkansas. We moved here in 2016 and started our life here. Is there any particular thing that you like about Washington more so than anywhere else you've been, or are you looking to move? I'm just sitting here sorting through some dried berries, so. Left Arizona. Okay. Yeah, I think it's quite an interesting task to try to homestead in Arizona. I know I watch, what is her channel? Trying to think. She's super popular. Oh, Weed 'em and Reap. And I just don't know how they do it with. So, I mean, granted, I think they have like a weekly irrigation. Loving the rain. Now, see, I'm not, I have to tell everyone that, the reason I ended up here in Arkansas is due to northern climate bothering me so bad. My husband was actually born and raised in the city of Detroit, and he didn't leave the Detroit area till 40s, and we were already married a few years by then. And then I developed a herniated disc that damaged my spinal cord, and suddenly cold weather, temperature changes, snow, rain, those types of things would easily put me in a lot of pain. So we landed in Texas for about 2 years. We lived in Georgetown, north of Austin. And then that was quite expensive, and it was getting more expensive to live there, even though I absolutely adored the weather. I mean, it was just mind-blowing to go from living in Michigan, where it's totally usual to have snow and cold weather for 6 months, and then we moved down to Texas, and like my kids were out of school on Christmas break, and it was 70 something, and they were wearing shorts, and it was just so mind-blowing. So outside of that, loving the weather, the downside was the expenses. And so then we decided we'll go the middle ground, and we moved here to the Ozarks. And winters are fairly mild here. We do get frequent rain throughout fall, winter, and spring, which again can get painful, but it's not near as painful as it was to live in the north. So yeah, I don't think I'd ever see myself moving back up north. But also there's the shorter growing season. I don't know what growing zone you're in. I love the Ozarks. I mean, granted, like if you were watching, what was that? They live in Idaho. Ooh. They're building a house, and I know like their background is all those mountains with the 8B. That is so interesting how Washington can have such a high, that's a really good season you're getting there then. The snow-capped mountains and all that, I think, are absolutely beautiful up in the Idaho, Montana, not Montana, but yeah, those mountains. You have a short growing season. Wow. Here we get a good 6 months worth of growing. I'm zone 7B. So I find that very mind-boggling that you only have such a short growing season. But here, you can start getting stuff in the ground as early as about March. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is short. Yeah, we try to get some of our early season vegetables that we can get out that can tolerate, say just around 35 degrees. We can get those out in March, and then it kind of just jumps through spring. You might get 2 or 3 weeks where you have like this middle ground of weather, and then it quickly kind of turns over into 80s and up for the rest of the summer. August is the worst, where, we have to do a lot of watering in August because we barely got any rain at all. July, kind of hit and miss here. But crazy enough, the area of Arkansas that we're in, we're just, we're about an hour or so east of Fort Smith. And so we end up kind of in this crosshairs of the system that may come over from Oklahoma, or a system that may kind of swoop up from the Gulf Stream. 9 times out of 10, we end up right in the middle, where we don't get the kind of weather that a lot of people that are north or south of us, or even east and west of us, get. So, and it is really wild how we do not get a lot of the crazy weather, which I'm kind of happy about, because we were very, very strategic about where we wanted to live due to tornadoes. When we were looking to leave Texas, we were kind of looking all over the place between every state that borders the ocean south of us to somewhere in the middle, and where we ended up. But we were not going to go like further up Missouri or Kentucky, because those, to me, that's too borderline into getting cold, too cold for me. You had a drought this past summer. Had a lot of water. Oh, yeah. You go for about a month without any kind of significant rain, and it really affects everything around you. You can tell even like your more established plants will suffer. Even our trees are like our smaller shrub type. I think we have like Rose of Sharon. Even those, that have been in the ground for years has, they were struggling. We had to do a lot of watering in the month of August. It sucked because we're still working on infrastructure where we try not to use too much of our municipal water. We try to, catch water off the roof or, those types of things and utilize that as much as possible. But we haven't set it up to where you might have seen these 275 gallon type, I think they're not stock tanks. They're tanks that hold various liquids from dish soap to oils to whatever. And a lot of people buy them secondhand. They'll sell them. And so as long as whatever was in it was food grade, you can then utilize it for something else, food grade. And so we got a couple of these tanks, and the downside is the way the spout on these tanks is designed. It's not like you can hook up a hose to it and, let it be like gravity fed. There has to be some kind of adaptation done to it, and we just haven't done it yet. As you're probably aware, just beginning your homestead, you find that it just seems like there's that never-ending list of things you want to establish and get there. And unless you have a boatload of money to throw at it, it just takes time. It's slow but steady, but we get there and we get things done as we can and what we are able. I mean, bless my husband's heart. He has carried many 5-gallon buckets of water to water plants, and I just say it keeps him younger. It's a good workout, but ouch. Yeah, it's not as quick as a lot of people would like to think when it comes to setting up a homestead. It's just like you have to have all these smaller goals, and as you can work toward the longer term goals, that's great. Yep, it does keep him young. Well, my husband's actually a little over 14 years older than I am. And so I try to keep him busy to keep him around a little longer, keep him healthy and strong, even though he doesn't have issues with health at all. And I'm the complete opposite end of the spectrum where I have a gob of health issues. So I don't know who the exercise is helping more, him or me. Because Lord knows I can't carry the 5-gallon buckets as far as he can. But if, it's been a slow and steady work in progress, and very proud to have him by my side because, it's definitely a partnership of he puts in a lot of the labor for me. And most of the time it's me just going out and weeding or putting the plants in the ground or harvesting. And he's done all the manual labor of turning soil or, the watering. If we're using the 5-gallon buckets, then he's carting them and unloading them for me. I have made some cooking videos, not very many. What I consider, I do what I can as I can. Editing is my nemesis. I can record the videos. It's just a matter of actually sitting down and editing a lot of these. I actually have probably 4 other videos I need to edit and actually post. But again, I do what I can, when I can, as I can. But yes, I have a few of cooking videos. It just depends on what you're looking for. Like if I've posted yes, it does. That sucks. Terrible. Well, and I would have to say mine is even worse because most of my editing is on my phone because I am not tech savvy in any way. So I use Filmora Go on my phone. A lot of my videoing is on my phone, and it's just doing everything from the phone. But yeah, I have a few little videos. It depends on what you're looking for and what your likes are. I do enjoy cooking. I love cooking from scratch. But actually filming and editing a cooking video is not easy. And then I have children at home in the afternoons when they get home from school. So most of the time, if I do a cooking video, it's in the afternoon. And then I try to edit later that day when I don't have to deal with all the kid noise in the background. Just trying to be respectful also of my kids too, because, you know, they come home, they don't want to just have this whole quiet zone of mom's doing this and I need to be quiet, and no TV, no radio, no nothing, you know, no noise due to copyrights and all that junk. So I try to find that balance between if it's a good day, I will make a video. If it's not, it just doesn't happen. Pasta salad challenge for the month of November. Yeah, I could try to throw up something for a pasta challenge. I don't have any more fresh basil though. My family is not really big on like pasta salads or casseroles. They're actually quite picky eaters. So I don't make too many of those things myself, but this summer I absolutely fell in love with a pesto salad where it's just pasta with some fresh pesto made from all the fresh basil that I was getting. And then I would add to the pesto, which I made homemade, was like olive oil, walnut, and Parmesan cheese. Got that all together with the pasta, and then like cherry tomatoes, or you could cut up another tomato into chunks, and then I would top it with balsamic vinegar. And that is like, I was eating that almost every single day. And you know, the pesto that I made, and I turn around and bought a couple of store-bought pestos, and they are definitely different. It is so much more bright, yet it isn't overwhelmingly powerful when you use fresh basil. You get the processed stuff at the store, and it does actually taste a little different. So, yeah, I would highly encourage trying a fresh pesto sometime and see if that might change his mind about the pesto. Because, I mean, so many times I've tried like maybe somebody else's recipe. For instance, you know, back in my early 20s, somebody had made a quiche and I thought it was disgusting. And then years later, married my husband, and we went to visit his and sister-in-law, and she asked, "Do you like quiche?" And I'm thinking, I don't know, but I'll try yours. Okay. I know I'm not the kind of person who snubs my nose at everything, but tried hers and it was amazing. So it can be a matter of how it's cooked, how it's made. And sometimes you really find that making it like fresh from scratch is so much better. Even like making bread, that was something I took on a little over a year ago. And, you know, so many times I think we complicate some of these from scratch recipes. Like even, for instance, another favorite of mine is a butternut squash ravioli. Highly recommended to everybody. But making it fresh looks and feels complicated. Now, for, the butternut squash ravioli is a little more time consuming than bread. But, homemade bread, it's like maybe 10 minutes worth of your time mixing everything. All the rest of the time is waiting. Same thing with yogurt. It takes maybe 10 minutes of your time, put it together, and then the rest is just waiting and letting nature do its thing. And timing, I think timing factors in a lot of it. If I was looking at it from a working family's perspective, maybe try to make bread on the weekend instead of trying to make it in the middle of the week. But yes, and it's so funny now because especially my kids who eat more of the foods that I'm making, it's kind of sad because they go to somebody else's house and, say their families don't really cook from scratch, or, just the difference between eating fresh green beans to green beans from a can, it can make a huge difference. Oh, that sounds interesting. Bacon and onion. Did she add anything else to it, or just the bacon sauteed? Or, because me, I think one of the recipes I have posted on my YouTube is actually a sauceless spaghetti, which in respect, you're not really using a processed spaghetti sauce, but instead using, say, canned tomatoes, and then you're skipping all the fillers and whatever they're putting into jar spaghetti. And then I like to cook my spaghetti with sweet Italian sausage and onion, mushroom, and spinach. And even just the sausage, onion, mushroom, and spinach, if I saute that in a pan, I can toss that with spaghetti and enjoy it just like that, without even a red sauce. But I think it's always good to try something new and different, because you never know if you like it till you try it, is my opinion. So what do you think of the homesteading life there, Blue Farm? Or Nikki, sorry, I'll try to remember your name. It's absolutely wild how I ended up in this situation. I wasn't even looking at homesteading initially when we were about to move from Texas. And I don't know what happened, but somehow on YouTube, I just happened to fall onto Danny and Wanda's channel, Deep South Homestead. And then I happened upon another homestead channel and another homestead channel. And before I knew it, my eyes were being opened to how broken our food system was, or just how toxic a lot of the food we buy now is. And so somehow the wheels just started turning. And I knew when we left Texas that we were totally done with big city life. To me, that was overdone. I wanted the heck out of the city. We also lived in Texas. We had HOA, and that was a nightmare. And I never want to be in an HOA situation again. You want to talk about little Nazi camps? That's one of them. Because they make all their own rules and they decide how they want to run things, from, even down to how you paint your door, or if you're allowed to power wash your fence. I've been there. it's just depends on where you're at and what all the rules they want to implement. And so when we started house hunting again and we started looking through Arkansas, I had two ideas. I either wanted to live on a lake or I wanted like some acreage and a home with a pond. And that's what I got. We got a nice little house on the side of a mountain. Now, granted, would I recommend homesteading in the mountains? I'd say look for a flatter piece of land than I did. But I can't say that it's horrible because we get great drainage. But our property is kind of like, yeah. So every time I go up to my garden, it's uphill. If I go up to my pond, it's uphill. And we really don't have anything super level to deal with. Okay, go ahead. That is your goal. I'll just busy myself over here with my dried fruit that I'm trying to sort through. Well, I don't know if anybody else is really going to come on. I know more people are scheduled lives where they know you're going to be there and it's not just pop up random. Thing of it is, if you've noticed, I don't hardly go live. It's kind of weird for me. Trying to get better, trying to get used to things, but going live is a lot different than just putting up a video. Okay. Well, I was actually just going to say I don't want to hold you up from whatever you got to be doing. My kids will probably be rolling in here pretty soon. No, don't be sorry at all. You did no. I was just saying a few minutes ago while you were away is that lives are different than making a video. You never know what's going to happen, and then being short notice like this, I didn't really expect anyone to pop on. Glad you did join me, and I think we'll just kind of call it a short one for today, but I did enjoy talking with you, Nikki, and I hope to talk to you again some more soon. And I'd like to try to go live again. Maybe next time I'll schedule it so more people will be notified about it. My kids will probably be home in about 10 minutes, so it's going to get noisy anyway. I hope to talk to you again soon, okay? And if anyone else stopped in, I'm sorry, but I'm going to go ahead and call it a day, and maybe we'll get to meet again sometime here in the near future. Bye-bye.